Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As always, we'll be bringing you the biggest news from the fight world. Tune in and enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with all the latest. And here we are.
Let's go!
Jake Paul is returning to the boxing ring this summer. Promotional officials confirmed to MMA Fighting that Paul is set to face former WBC middleweight champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in a cruiserweight matchup. The event takes place June 28th at the Honda Center in Anaheim, Calif, and streams on DAZN pay-per-view. Prior to this bout, a bout between Paul and Canelo Alvarez was in the works for May, but the fight didn't materialize after Alvarez signed a deal with Turki Al Sheikh's Riyadh season promotion.
Yeah, damn right!
The UFC has famously negotiated some almost deals that never quite got done. And it turns out disgraced ex-WWE owner Vince McMahon was at the center of personally sinking one of the biggest. Back in 2011, the UFC was working towards a new broadcast rights deal after outgrowing its previous home at Spike TV. And there were more than a few interested parties involved. In the end, UFC CEO Dana White says that it was NBC that came to the table with the best offer, and the two sides were just hammering out a few final details before ultimately signing a contract.
So I'm on the 1 yard line. We're about to get a deal done with NBC. And one of my, big deal points was that the Ultimate Fighter had to be on USA. So we're literally in New York for days hammering it out with all the executives over there. And finally they come back and say, all right, we'll do it. We'll put the Ultimate Fighter on USA. So the next day we come back and, we're about to sign the deal and do all the stuff. And they're like, we can't believe this. We didn't know this. We just found out. Vince McMahon has the right to determine whether another combat sport can come on to USA. And I'm like, what? How is that even fucking possible?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Arman Tsarukian is the odd man out in the UFC lightweight title picture right now. Just 3 months ago, Tsarukian had a golden opportunity to potentially beat Islam Makhachev for his belt and avenge a 2019 loss to the lightweight champion. Unfortunately for Tsarukian, a back injury forced him to pull out the day before fight night, and he has not been guaranteed a rebooking. Tsarukian has been open to fighting anyone to earn another chance, but a matchup is yet to materialize. He believes Makhachev needs to make a decision first, and that is the domino that needs to fall to set the rest of the division in motion.
It's a dangerous fight, and I don't have a title. And so Oliver wants to fight for the title. Topuria wants to fight. Everybody wants to fight for the title. And when the title fight gonna book, and then I'm gonna get the fight.
Are they gonna give you the title fight?
Depends. If Islam gonna move to 170. Yeah, they gotta give me interim title with somebody.
He said this morning.
We all have regrets, even Joe Rogan. One of the biggest podcasters on the planet, Rogan is also one of the faces of the UFC, having served as a color commentator for the promotion since 2002. In that time, Rogan's seen it all, from the best fights to the ones that got away. And while there are many things he might wish had happened differently, one stands above all the others. Fedor Emelianenko never made it to the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting. There's certain fighters, my main regret in MMA that we never got to see Fedor fight in the UFC when he was in his prime.
That's true.
If I could have one fight in their prime, Fedor, Cain Velasquez.
Oh, that would be
in their
a great
prime.
fight.
Oh my God.
Great
in
fight.
their prime. That would have been incredible.
Great.
Incredible.
Actually, Cain was an amazing fighter.
Bro, that guy had a gas tank that was superhuman.
Yeah.
So for a heavyweight, it didn't even make any sense. You would see guys just fall apart.
And why do you think that they never bring him to the UFC?
Well, they tried.
Yeah.
But I gotta be careful how I say this. So Fedor was controlled by some Russian people that were very rough men.
Okay.
As it were, gangster type characters, and they had a bunch of negotiations with the UFC, but they were very unreasonable demands. Like, they wanted part of the promotion. They wanted to own a piece of everything. They wanted a lot because they knew that with Fedor they had their golden ticket and they wanted to play it out as much as possible.
Okay.
And negotiations were very intense and very, very confrontational. They got bad where Dana had to up his security. It got pretty,
Yeah?
it got heavy. Yeah. These are dangerous people. These were dangerous people.
Cain Velasquez is already serving his prison term after he was sentenced to 5 years behind bars following a no-contest plea on numerous charges, including attempted murder, but he's still dealing with the fallout from that calamitous car chase in 2022. The latest court hearing for Velasquez took place on Wednesday, although he didn't make an appearance, as his attorney Renee Hessling dealt with a restitution hearing, which determines a financial penalty paid to the victims in the case. While the judge ultimately issued a continuance to a new hearing setting date on June 3rd, Hessling argued that there's still a lot of work to be done before restitution can be determined due to the requests from the victims. Under California law, victims in crimes like these are due restitution from the person convicted, but it's still to be determined how much Velasquez will actually owe. The boxing match between ex-UFC fighters Darren Till and Darren Stewart has been rescheduled as the main event of the upcoming Misfits Boxing 21 card scheduled for May 16th in Derby, England. The matchup originally slated to serve as the co-main event to a Misfits card headlined by KSI taking on Dylan Dennis, but that matchup was scrapped after KSI fell ill. There's still no word if that fight is going to be rebooked, but Till and Stewart are still signed to clash with the fight now taking place on May 16th. The most disappointing finish might have actually occurred at LFA 206 in Prior Lake Mini. This one is genuinely nobody's fault as Joey Hart simply threw a kick from an odd angle that resulted in his toe landing in the worst possible place. As you can see, Omoyele Gonzalez was clearly struck in the eye, but there's not a lot you can do when an accidental poke happens like that. Referee Rob Madrigal could have paused the action, but it was unclear what happened at the time, and there was only about a minute left in the round, so they just let it ride. Unfortunately for Gonzalez, his eye swelled up something fierce from the toe jab, and he couldn't come out for round 3, so TKO win for Hart.
Oh my god, my crotch! Rhea! Whoa! Whoa! Oh my god! I'm right here, like so. Oh my god! So, in this position,
it's the finish. It's the
this
climax.
is the finish. I'm Nina, and I'm here with
Rhea Ripley.
Today, she's going to show me what it takes to be a mommy. You get in the ring really cool.
Do you want me to do the little slidey slide?
Can you show me how to do that?
Thing along the lines of this.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll lean forward and do this cool thing.
I get up like this, and then I just roll on it.
There we go. Just got to keep a hold of that rope. Ooh.
You like that? It's called the sloth. We're going to do signature pin with Rhea Ripley. Legs. Oh my god. Legs back.
Yep.
Did you guys get this? All right, everyone, watch WrestleMania 41 with Rhea Ripley on Netflix and Peacock.
On the 19th and 20th, watch Mommy win at WrestleMania 41.